so far, what you make of the names, the list, and people who are there as ministers. Did square pegs fit square holes?
Well, it's a mixed bag. There are some of the minister designates where you can say that the square pegs fit the square holes. For example, look at health, look at finance, education, you look at innovation and digital economy. You can, of course, Attorney General, which has to be a lawyer. You can confidently say that, yes, the square pegs fit the square holes. Water resources, too, to a large extent. However, in some of the portfolios, we have our head scratching, wondering what the rationale is. For example, with defense, where you have the two former governors who you put there, and especially the Minister of State, the former State governor, who under his in his tenure, banditry rose higher. You may make the argument that state governors do not really have a lot of latitude with security, since all the security agencies are federally owned. But in his own way, his own personal approach to security too was questionable in terms of trying to grant bandits amnesty, which backfired, and so on and so forth. But then you make a point earlier that it's really an aberration to keep nominating ministers without their internet portfolios. And it's a position we have also taken as an organization to criticize it, because how then do you really assess their competencies for the role if you don't know what portfolios they'll be assigned to? It's just like you for a job interview. You know that you're going to get a job at the organization, but you don't know what position in the organization you're going to be given. Because every single time this has happened, we are left guessing game of who goes where. I'm always left surprised in terms of who ends up going to certain ministries. For example, who will have thought like Festus Keyamo will head to aviation, considering the fact that he doesn't have any background in aviation, in the aviation industry. So these are kind of issues that always come up, and I think we shouldn't have to get to a point where we demand it to be mandatory. It should be common sense that when you're nominating ministers at federal level, nominating commissioners, if you're nominating even diplomats, ambassadors, you should nominate their internet portfolios or the countries of their posting, because that will then allow for a more thorough screening.
Many have said over the years that we need to adjust, perhaps look at the age bracket for people who come into this field, and it should be people who have been in the field or who are in the field man these positions. For instance, the minister designate John Onwa-Eno for sports is a politician, a farmer, and philanthropist. And that would get people to say, shouldn't we have at least sportsmen and women in the Ministry of Sports heading those ministries because they've been part of the system and actually engaged in sports?
So I agree with you that, yes, the age is really important. We need to be really good to see a young person as Youth Minister of Youth. But beyond just being young, somebody who is capable, who is competent. Same for sports. You need someone who has experience dealing with around sports development, sports policy, youth development, youth policy for the Ministry of Youth, and we're not lacking in such people. We have continually treated these ministries as compensatory ministries, where you just give a politician as a way of compensating them for their contributions to your campaign or keeping them close within your orbit, and that has to change, because every ministry deals with sectoral issues, with real life issues, and they have their importance. So that attitude, and we do the same thing with the Ministry of Women Affairs, where we just give it to a woman politician. I mean, gratefully, we haven't had a man run that office. Gratefully. So, but then, is the woman? Does she understand the issues that women face that she needs to deal with? That she needs to look prioritize in her as running that ministry. These are very, very important. Not just to have a politician and just being put there just as a way of like saying thank you, job well done for helping you win the elections.